Good morning. Can you see my screen? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Right. Now, this is DevOps introduction class. DevOps introduction. Still people are joining. Raj, are you there? Karthik, are you there? Let's wait for 1 minute, guys. Still students are joining.
Okay, sir.
No, we'll start then. Right. So today we'll discuss about what is DevOps, what is the importance of DevOps, like what is the relation between DevOps and any cloud, why nowadays DevOps is mostly used. To understand these concepts, we'll come with it. So there is a person, uh, uh, he wants, uh, assume he's a central railway minister. Assume we don't have any Paytm, IRCTC as of now. Passengers all over from India, they want to book the tickets, train tickets to travel from one place to another place. So I want to travel from Hyderabad to Tirupati. What I'll do, I'll open normally, like if we don't have any applications like Paytm, or if we don't have any applications like IRCTC, like how I'll book the tickets, I'll go to railway station, I'll wait at the ticket counter, I'll pay the money and I'll book the tickets. Like for which date you want to travel, for that date, we book the tickets. Like this is the culture, like method we follow. So now this railway minister got a thought, like we should introduce any application to book the tickets for passengers from any place to any place all over India. So can he do that? Can he develop this application as a railway minister? This politician can develop that software?
No, sir.
Hmm?
No.
No, sir.
He cannot do. He's having that thought, but he cannot implement that. So what he'll do, he will go to one IT company. So he's explaining his ideas. We need an application, mobile application, as well as from browser also. The passengers, like people has to log in. They should book the tickets. Once the tickets are booked, they can see the soft copy. Like these things, everything, the requirement he's explaining. So this IT team, this IT company manager, they're discussing with their teams, and like after discussion, they said like, yeah, it will take 12 months, and the budget is like almost 1 million US dollars budget. If you're okay with this, with the budget and with the time, if you're okay, then we can start working on it. Now, railway minister is thinking, okay, $1 million. Yes, okay, we can give this budget for the application, and 12 months also we can wait for this app. He said, yeah, okay. Then this IDT, they'll start working on this. So here in this process, this railway minister has given a task, right? He has given a task to this company. You know, what do we call this task? Any idea? He has given a task. What do you call this task?
Project.
Outsourcing.
Project. In company, we see like we work on different projects, right? So here, what is our project? This is our project, IRCTC project. Who gave this task?
Railway minister.
What do we call him?
Client.
We call him client.
Client.
We call this railway minister client. Why? Because he's paying the money. He has given the task. So we call him client. And this, his central railway minister, he's from Delhi location. So wherever client sits, wherever client belongs to, we call that client location as, any idea? What do we call client location? On-site. On-site means not USA, America, Australia, London, UK. On-site means client location. Here our client is railway minister. He is from Delhi. So our client, our on-site is Delhi. Our team is from Hyderabad. Like these software employees working from Hyderabad location, these software companies in Hyderabad. Like this is offshore. We call it as offshore. Till here, these terminologies, is it clear? Like client location, on-site, project.
Yes, sir.
So now
Yes.
this IT team has received a project. Their project is to develop an IRCTC application within 12 months. To develop this application, they need a team. Like they need developers, they need testing team, they need operations team, like different uh, people from different teams are involved to develop this application. Now, first starting with First, what they'll do means, first, they design the application. First, designing part will come. See, without designing, even if you want to construct a home, you have a land. Even if you want to construct a home, directly you go to the land and place your bricks, cement directly, or you have a blueprint for that to construct anything.
Yeah, blueprint.
We take a blueprint, we have a design, like where should be the hall, where should come the bedroom, kitchen. Like we have a design first, designing phase. You construct any home, office, building, whatever, any showroom, whatever you do, first we'll have a designing phase. If your designing is completed, if you're satisfied with the design, then you'll start implementing that. Even here also, first comes designing the application, like how should our application should look like. First, initially, it should have a login page. Like we'll think. First, it should have a login page. In login page, it should ask username, password. Uh, Here, it should have login button. It should have sign up button and forget password button. Initially, if a new user is there, and can a new user log in directly?
No.
No.
He can log in directly, any user. So what he need to do, he need to sign up first, register. Once you click on sign up, it should open a registration page. In registration page, like first name, last name, password, confirm password, email ID, phone number, like all these details you have to give and click on submit. Once you click on submit, these details are saved in IRCTC database. Like login page, registration page. Again, you will log in, like my name, password, click on login. Once you click on login, it will open welcome page, like IRCTC. In welcome page, it will show some options to book the tickets, like from, you need to select the city from this drop down, and to where you want to travel. If you click on this drop down, it will show the cities, like from, I want to travel from Hyderabad to Tirupati. Like here, dates section, calendar. It should show all the dates. Like you need to select the dates. Like adults, number of adults, child, like this, we have to design. One more page. Once you click on proceed, in the next page, it should ask for details, like fill the passenger details, like passenger name, passenger age, which berth you want, lower berth, upper berth. Like this, we have to design all the pages. Once designing part is done, if designing part is okay, if everything is good, next comes code. Yeah, developers will start working on the code. Like we have assumed 3 developers or 4 developers. Each developer will work on different tasks, like for one page, registration page. A developer 2 works on welcome page. Developer 3 works on that train tickets booking section part. The other developer work on some different tasks. Like they give they work on different tickets, like based on the manager allocate to them. They work on different tickets. So once the coding part is done, see, coding part will not be done in 1 or 2 days. It will take some months, because this is a development from scratch. So they write the code, they will check whether the code is written properly or not. And according to the code, the designing page, whatever they design, whether that page is working properly as uh, what they have written. Initially, they perform unit test, means they'll check in their laptops whether the code is working properly or not. Once the coding part is done, next comes build. Here, build team is a different team. It is a separate team. This build team will do the build of entire the code. Means here developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, developer 4. All these people has written the code. Assume they have written the code. They took almost 7 months for writing the code. After 7 months of this coding part, now comes the build team. What this build team will do? This build team will build this entire code, whatever written by 1, 2, 3, 4 developers, that code, they will take that code, they will build this code. Build means compiling. Compiling the source code. Assume these people has written the code in Java language, like import, like Java code, right? Like import, printf, these statements will have. So they have written the code, but this code is a source code. This source code is understandable only for humans. It cannot readable by computers. Computers, laptops cannot understand this code. Computers can read only binary language 0 1 1 0 0 1. Only this language, binary code only computers can read. So what build will do? Build will have compiling option, means it will compile the source code. Source code will be converted to this binary code so that our computers can read the coding. It can understand the code. So it will compile the code. After compiling, it will create executable file, means final executable file, like .var file, .jar file. Like this. Var means web archival, jar means Java archival. These files are created. So once these executable files are created, after building, so build team, what it will do? It will perform the build, it will compile the code, and it will create one executable files. Next comes testing team. So this testing team is a separate team. So testing, these are like testers. What they'll do, what is their job? They will write some test cases. For example, login page is there. In login page, we have username option, password option, and then click on login. They're testing, like for test case one. So this tester, what they did, username, they're not giving anything. They're not writing any username and they're not giving any password. And if we click on login button, what should be the output? What should be the result if I click on login button?
Login failed.
It should throw some proper error message like, please insert valid username, enter valid password, something like that. Meaningful error it has to show. If it is not showing error and if it is taking you to the welcome page, whether the application is working properly or not, if it is taking you to welcome page.
Yes, sir.
If it is taking you to welcome page, even if you are not entering username and password,
No.
so
It's not working.
it's not working. So what testing team will do? They'll immediately inform to the developers. We have not written the code properly. The functionality is not working. Even if I don't give any username password, it is redirecting me to IRCTC welcome page. So immediately developer will look into that and they'll fix the issue. Whatever the testing team will report, accordingly they will fix the issue. Now, they say like, yeah, we have fixed the issue. Now username, I'm giving like my mobile number. And password also I'm giving my mobile number and I'll click on login button. Now it is taking me to welcome page. Now also it should throw the error. Username should be only like alphabets. It should not take numbers. Like my username is my name, generally like anybody's name. Only alphabet should be taken. But here even your mobile number also considering as a username. Now also it should throw the error like invalid username, but it is not throwing invalid username and it is taking to welcome page. Developers, again, they'll fix on it. So like this testing team will write some like not 100, like 100, 200, 300, 400 test cases, like different test cases. Each and every minute thing they will test whether your application is working properly or not. Without proper testing, if they deploy the application, sometimes if you observe maybe 1 year back, sometime in Swiggy, rarely sometimes I think once or twice happened in Swiggy, like kg sweets 800 means by mistakenly it is showing 200 rupees. Lots of people ordered. Have anybody know this one? It happened once in Swiggy. due to some technical issues, instead of showing the correct values, like it has shown the wrong values. So like lots of people ordered 800 kg sweet for just 200 rupees, and the sweets got delivered also because of the technical issue. Without testing properly, if they deploy, what happens? This will be the result. So in the live environment, after proper testing only, you need to deploy. So again, they have rectified this issue like within 2 3 hours. This happened maybe 7 8 months back. No idea for anyone.
Yes, sir, I know.
Hmm?
Say no, sir, I know. I have ordered also.
You ordered also. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
So whenever you want to deploy the applications in live environment, so without proper testing, if you deploy, uh, that will be the results. Your application will be failed. Like nobody will trust you. Like it is like failed application only if you deploy without testing properly. And after testing, if testing people say yes, you can go ahead, all the test cases are passed, like your application login page is working properly, registration page is working properly, like, and the bookings also working, like from Hyderabad to Tirupati, from different places to different places. Like only for future dates, you should not book the tickets for past dates. Can you book the ticket for 2023 January 1st now? Today, can you book the ticket for last year?
No, no.
No.
That is invalid thing. So if your application is showing you to the book the tickets for last year also, that is like, that is, we don't call it as a proper application itself. It's a failed thing. So this testing team will do all the past negative test cases, positive test cases. Once they said yes, all the cases are passed, you can go ahead. Then only next QA team will come. What this team will do, QA team, they will, QA means like quality assurance. They'll check the code quality. See, writing the code is not only important, but how perfectly you have written, like how quality it is having. I have given a task for you to print hello world statement. You write the code in C language or Java language, I said, like you have written, like one person is writing the code hash include, declaring variables, importing some packages, printing statement hello world. Like he took 10 lines. He has written the code in 10 lines and finally he's printing hello world. Like one more person also writing the code like simple, like hash include, printf, hello world. In 2 lines also is printing the statement. Both has given the proper output. Both code is correct. This code is correct. This code is correct. Both has given the same output, correct answer only. But if you want to check the quality, which code quality is good, this code quality is good because it took very less time for execution also for me. Because of 2 lines, it will take very less time for execution and showing the outputs. And QA team will do that, like code quality. Quality of the code, it will check QA team. After finally, application has developed. This is our final application. So all these teams, designing team, like people who write the code, build team, test team, QA team, these all teams comes under developers, or you can call it like development team. So because these all teams are involved in developing the application. Now my application is developed. This is my final executable file. If I give this final executable product to this railway minister, what can he do? Can he deploy the application?
No, sir.
He cannot do anything because he's a non-technical person. He don't know anything. No, here comes operations team, or we can call them like admin team. What they'll do, operations team. Like after developing the product, Next one is deploying. So this operations team, they collect the file and they'll deploy this application in servers, in Windows servers or Linux servers. In servers, they'll deploy the application. Once they deploy the application in the server, users from all over India can able to access the application. Like whenever we type www.irctc.com, like from internet, we can able to access IRCTC application once deployment is done. So who is deploying the application here? Operations team. Operations team is deploying the application. Once the deployment is done, like they'll take care of like maintenance. They'll take care of maintenance. Maintenance means what? See, development is done. There are two things. After developing the application, after users can able to access the application, like if we are not taking care of maintenance as a software team, if you're not taking care of maintenance, we will give training to the client team only. This railway minister will appoint two IT employees. We will give training to them. Like this is the code, this is application, like how it works, like everything will explain to that maintenance team. If railway minister is telling no, you only take care of maintenance, even after the project completed, you only take care of maintenance for next 15 years, means this team has to take care of maintenance. I'll tell you a simple example. Like you went to one like SBI, State Bank of India, to deposit 10,000. You stand in the queue, you're waiting to deposit this 10,000. But when your turn came, like this bank employee saying like suddenly the app is not working. SBI app, the application, SBI online application, they has to enter your details to deposit the money in their app application, right? After entering your account number, but that application is not working. Suddenly, it got crashed. Something happened and it is not at all working. Who will fix that application? Whether this bank employee, if the application itself not working,
Application.
whether she can fix by changing the code,
No, no,
No, sir.
or
no,
whether the State Bank of India branch manager, will he change the code?
no.
No,
But
sir.
they are not software employees. They're bank employees. They do only like functionality, the application functionality only they know. Like if you want to deposit money, like what you need to do, if you want to transfer money, or if you want to save that fixed deposit, like these things, these options, what to do inside the application only they know. But if something happened to that application, if that is not working, or if the buttons are not working properly, if the drop downs are not working, radio buttons are not selecting, there is a problem with the app. These people cannot do immediately. Software employees who has developed this application, like maintenance team, like since this software team is taking care of maintenance of this application, what they'll do immediately, they'll raise the tickets. Like this is a severe ticket, like it is a critical ticket. Like if it is a high priority issue, like they raise the tickets as critical or blocker. Like you need to fix this issue like within half an hour, 1 hour, immediately. Okay, so this tickets will be raised immediately. Software team will work on this and resolve the issue. After 1 hour, again, the application is back and employees will work on this. So similarly here also, for this IRCTC application, like if we are going to take care of maintenance, there is a separate like maintenance team, or if client wants to take care of, like we will train to that maintenance team. And next, monitoring. This monitoring team will monitor always the infrastructure and application. Monitoring means they 24/7 continuously. If people come in the shift monitoring team, if there are 3 persons or 4 persons, like 2 people come in morning shift, 2 people come in evening shift, and they monitor whether storage is available or not, whether RAM memory is still available or not, application is working properly or not. Like if this is like something differently, like storage is almost reached to 99%. Then immediately monitoring team will inform to this operations team. What this operations team will do, they'll increase the storage, because if total 100 GB is there, 99 GB is utilized. If after 5 minutes or after 10 minutes, this 100 GB will be utilized and your application may not work. So immediately what this monitoring team, they will not see up to 99%. If it is crossing 80% only, immediately they has to inform to like development team or operations teams to someone. What these people will do, they will increase the storage capacity. Similarly, if memory also reaching to 90%, they have to inform to this team. They'll look into the issue. Or if servers are failed, not working, they has to inform to this team. So monitoring team will monitor the issues. They monitor the infrastructure related things, application related things. And finally, end of the 12th month, like project is completed. Client will give the party, done. Okay, next project will come. Same thing. Next project also starting with designing, coding, build, test, QA, deployment. One more project came to us, like one more project, designing. So any project you take in the world, like we go with these phases. It's like first stage, second stage, like all these stages as a life cycle. So this life cycle we call as software development life cycle. SDLC. Software development life cycle. So to develop this application, to develop this IRCTC application, we are going to different stages, like designing stage, then we're writing the code. Without designing, without coding, directly can you test the application? First, I'll go with testing stage means. Can you do like that?
No, sir.
All right. After designing only coding, then after that only build, after that only testing. So without developing this product, there is no for operations team. Means they cannot deploy the application. So one after one, one after one. So this method we call as waterfall method. In waterfall method, what we do after getting the requirement, first we design the application, then we write the code, then we do the build, testing, QA, then deploying, maintenance, monitoring. These stages are involved in waterfall method. But waterfall method is it's an old one. It is used in early 2000, early 1990s. Like nowadays, like we are not using waterfall method because we have some drawbacks. What are the drawbacks means? So this deployment operations team persons, they're deploying the application. They're deploying the application in Linux servers as well as Windows servers. But they found some issues with Linux machine. In Windows server, they deployed properly and application is working properly. But in Linux machine, it is not working properly after deploying. So operations team people, they are informed to development team. So your code is not working properly. In Windows, we deployed properly, but in Linux, it is not working properly. Please check your code. There is some issue with your code. Now, developers, what they are saying, after writing the code, we did unit test. We tested in our laptops. It worked fine in Windows as well as Linux. Maybe you don't know like how to deploy in Linux. That is issue with your end only. You check from your end. Operations team, they are saying like, we know how to deploy. It worked in Windows. It is not working in Linux. You check from your end because there is a miscommunication. There is a gap between development team and operations team. So there is a miscommunication between this development team, operations team. And this railway minister is coming to this IT company after 6 months. and he want to add one new requirement. What he's suggesting, like earlier in the requirement, the payment option they used to do with net banking. There is only one option to do the payment through online, that is net banking option. You need to enter your customer ID, password, and like that you have to do the payments for booking the tickets. But after 6 months in the market, there is a new payment we got. So if you want to use that payment method in this IRCTC also, that payment nothing but that phone pay. So Railway Minister is saying, manager, can you include this phone pay option method also for our passengers so they can do the payment easily, introduce phone pay saying. But this IT team will not take the new requirements, additional requirements. Once designing phase, before designing phase, like once there is requirement is taken, no more additional requirements. No new requirements are taken in waterfall method. So this is also a drawback. And time, like it is taken like more time to deliver the application, like 12 months. See, they have given the deadline 12 months. They are delivering in 12 months only. On time only they are delivering. But usually to deploy that application, like 12 months is like very much time. They're taking more time. So this is also a drawback. So how to reduce the time? These drawbacks, how to overcome? We have a method for that. That is agile methodology. In agile methodology, we take the requirements in the form of sprints. So this is sprint 1. In sprint 1, Railway Minister has given me the requirements like to work on the login page, how the application should look like. A user has to log in, then he has to register, then he should book the tickets, then he should do the payment. Like this, he has given the sprint 1. Deadline 3 months. In 3 months, we should finish this sprint 1. So developers started working on the designing phase, designing on sprint 1, then writing the code, then doing the build, testing the application. So this application has tested and it worked finally. After 3 months, client came with one more sprint, sprint 2. In sprint 2, he's giving the new requirements. Means the requirements are given in the sprints, in different sprints. They'll split the requirements, not in a single sprint. They will give all the requirements. They will split the sprints and they'll split the requirements. In sprint 2, he want to include live location of the customer. You want to include this phone pay method for payments, GPay, Google Pay, Paytm. Through Paytm also you want to pay. So here also again, they have to design the application again, because where you want to include this phone pay, where you want to include GPay, Paytm, designing phase. We have to write the code for this one also. We have to do the build, then testing the application. And sprint 3, after 6 months, after 3 months, he came with this sprint. Again, after 6 months, he's coming with one more sprint, sprint 3. In sprint 3, he's giving some more requirements, like he want to include a user can choose this berth, which berth you need, like lower berth or upper berth, like this. While traveling in the train only, you want to order the food, like from the next station. If your next station is Secunderabad, like 20 minutes before only you can order the food, so that the food can be delivered to your next boarding point, like from Secunderabad. They'll come and give the food to you. Like this requirement currently they are implementing also. This is a new requirement. So these new requirements, again, QR code, scanner. If you want to pay them, like use QR code to scan and do the payment. Like they have given the new requirements in sprint 3. Again, design, code, build, test, and finally, at end of the sprint 3, we are deploying the application. Finally, at end of the 9th month, first 3 months, 3 months, last 3 months. So end of the 9th month, the application is deployed into the market. So in agile methodology, like what difference we saw from waterfall method? What differences we have means here. First one, in agile methodology, we have like every day status calls, or in some projects they call scrum calls, scrum meetings. In these status calls, like everybody in the team will attend, will join the calls, and they'll discuss about their tickets. Like if there are 4 developers, 4 testing team, 4 operations team, 2 managers, like everybody join this call and they'll update their status. Like myself, I'm a developer 1. I'm telling about my ticket status. Like yesterday I worked on welcome page, almost username, first name, last name, these sections are completed. So there is a file pending with some radio button. I'll do this today. Like my ticket update I have given. Similarly, the other person will also give the updates on his ticket. Everybody will give updates on their tickets, so that everybody in the team will get to know what's going on currently, where we are right now. If any issue is there, the manager will say, okay, you developer and deployment team, you operations team guy, you both sit together and work on that issue, so that there will not be any miscommunication. That if you people like facing any issues, you both teams involved, testing team, development team also, you both sit and fix that issue. So here we are achieving that miscommunication things because of we have status calls and scrum calls. Are you aware of these things? Any working employees?
Yeah.
So,
Yes. So these calls will be having like every day. Then next, we addressed this issue, miscommunication issue. We addressed in agile methodology, and here no requirements, right? In waterfall method, we cannot take new requirements, but this issue also we addressed in agile methodology with sprints. Now the client can come with new requirements in the sprints, right? No, he no need to give all the requirements in the beginning itself. He can give new requirements in the second sprint. If he is getting any new ideas, he can give that ideas in the third sprint also. New requirements are taken in middle of the project also. We address this issue also. But delivering the application on time, like on time means like as soon as possible, like faster delivery, still we are not achieving. So even though in sprint 1 the application is developed, we are not deploying. Even in sprint 2 it is developed, it is not deploying. Finally at the end of the sprint 3 only we are deploying the application. So still we are not delivering the application as soon as possible. Please don't draw the sketches. So in agile methodology also, we have this drawback. Faster delivery is not happening. So to address these issues, we have a methodology that is DevOps methodology. What is DevOps methodology? DevOps, the term DevOps came from where actually? Let me tell you the term from where DevOps has came from. All these teams are involving for developing the application. From the development, the word dev, and from the operations, ops. Totally, the name is DevOps. So this DevOps team is like an all-rounder. It is like a bridge between development team and operations team. DevOps team is a bridge It is like this team is to fill the gaps between development team and operations team. Means DevOps team should have knowledge on both development side. They should have knowledge on operations side, dev and ops, DevOps. Earlier, we used to have separate build team. Like 2 persons used to work in build team, and 2 persons work in deployment team. 2 persons work in monitoring, like 2 persons work in maintenance. Like how many employees are there? Totally 8 employees are there. For each person, assume the salary is 50,000 per month. Totally how much? 2 lakhs overall. 2 lakhs into 12, 24. So 24 lakhs has to pay by the management. Each person's salary is 50,000. So 50,000, 50,000, 1 lakh. 50, 50, 1 lakh. 50, 50, 1 lakh. 50, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lakhs, right? Sorry, 4. 12 4 is 48. So 48 lakhs management has to pay per annum. But now, after this DevOps came into the market, after DevOps culture came into the market, now the management is not looking for build team. Management is not looking for deployment team or maintenance team or monitoring team. They are looking for DevOps team. Why? Because DevOps engineer will have knowledge on like build side. They know, DevOps engineer know what has to be done after the coding part is done. After coding is completed, what you have to do. Like DevOps engineer know how to do build. DevOps engineer know, and how to deploy the application. DevOps engineer know how to deploy the application. DevOps engineer know like maintenance, monitoring, everything. So instead of hiring these 8 people, and instead of paying 48 lakhs for these 8 people, they're hiring only 2 DevOps engineers. Two DevOps engineers they are hiring, and they're giving like let's take like minimum 1 lakh. 1 lakh means how much totally? 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs into 12 months, like 24 lakhs. Management is paying 24 lakhs per annum. So employees getting double salary, and management also saving 50%. Earlier, they used to pay 48 lakhs for these 8 employees, but now management is paying only 24 lakhs for these 2 people, and these people also getting like 1 lakh, but earlier these people getting only 50,000. Why? Because DevOps engineer used to do all the activities what build team has doing, deployment team has doing, monitoring team has doing. Everything is handled by DevOps engineer only. In DevOps also, we take the requirements in the form of sprint. We take the requirements in the form of sprints, like sprint 1, we got the requirement, we design code, build, test, and here itself we deploy the application. In the 3rd month itself, IRCTC came into the market, users can book the train tickets. Means faster delivery is happening. In the 4th month, sprint 2 is came, like it is like upgrading this IRCTC application. Like we are upgrading the version. Like we are implementing live location, we are implementing phone pay, GPay, Paytm, like all these options. By end of the 6th month, like 2nd version of IRCTC has came to the market. By end of the 9th month, like 3rd version of IRCTC came to the market. Like we are deploying the applications in DevOps methodology, like as soon as the development is completed. Here we have different tools. Like after developers writing the code, assume developer 1 has written the code. Developer 1 has written the code in his laptop. Developer 2 has written the code in his laptop. Developer 3 written the code in his laptop. Finally, all this code has to be merged in one common place. So for that, we are using a tool called like Git. We are using a tool Git, and we are merging that code in GitHub. So who is creating this GitHub account? Who is creating these repositories? Who creating the branches? Means DevOps engineer will do that. DevOps engineer will do this installation of Git, GitHub, merging the code, creating branches, everything is taken care by DevOps team. Once the coding part is written, next comes the building that application. Who will install that build tool? Who will do that? Means DevOps engineer. Here, like Maven, we have a tool called Maven build tool. This tool is used for building the application. and creating that executable file like .var file. Who will do this installation? Means DevOps engineer will do. And for testing, we have different tools like Selenium tool, all this. The setup of this testing tools like Selenium, we don't involve. As a DevOps engineer, we don't involve because testing is a separate team. Testers will handle that part. How to test, how to install that testing tool, everything they'll take care. And at QA team also, like this QA team also as a DevOps engineer, some teams use QA, some teams will not use QA. If it is there, like we check the code quality by using the tools like JUnit. Some tools are there. Not JUnit, sorry, check style. Check style is a tool. This is used for checking the code quality. So who will install this check style? DevOps engineer will install check style and he will check the code quality. And DevOps engineer will install the deployment tools like at deployment we use tools like Docker or Kubernetes. These tools are used for deploying the applications. So installation part, deploying part taken by DevOps engineer. He will install Docker, he will create containers, he'll deploy the application. Like monitoring, for monitoring purpose, we have different tools like Datadog, Nagios, CloudWatch. All these are tools. So all these tools, again, we integrate with CI/CD tool called Jenkins. We integrate GitHub with Jenkins, we integrate Maven with Jenkins, Checkstyle with Jenkins, Docker with Jenkins, Datadog with Jenkins. So Jenkins is a very important CI/CD tool. This is an automated tool. Means once a developer has written the code, once he push the code to GitHub, immediately Jenkins will pull that code. It will send that code for build Maven. Once Maven build is completed, it will send that code for Jenkins. Jenkins will send that to testing tool, Selenium. Selenium will perform all test cases. It will send that tested code to Jenkins. Jenkins will send the code to Checkstyle. Checkstyle will perform code quality and it will send out automatic. Everything's automatic. Jenkins will send that code for Docker for deploying and it will monitor using these monitoring tools. So everything this happening automatically because of this Jenkins CI/CD tool. And who is doing this setup? Like installing Jenkins, installing GitHub, installing Maven, installing Docker, and creating the integration, integrating these two tools, integrating these two, integrating this. Everything is handled by DevOps engineer. Developer is responsible only for designing the application and developing the like writing the code in Java or C language, C++. He write the code only. But finally, users accessing that application from internet like www.swiggy.com, www.zomato.com means we are able to see that application. Like it is happening because of DevOps engineer. We are deploying the application. If a DevOps engineer don't deploy the application, developer will write the code. He will see that code in his laptop only. That application will work in his laptop only. But everybody in the world want to access the application means we need to deploy that application. Who will deploy? As a DevOps engineer, will deploy that application. So in DevOps, we are addressing along with this status or some Scrum calls, we have new requirements. And additionally, we have this one also. Faster delivery because of tools. In DevOps, we have different tools. In DevOps, we have Jenkins CI/CD because of that. And we are deploying the application as soon as possible. We are achieving faster delivery also. So that's why nowadays in each and every team, they are implementing DevOps methodology for faster delivery of the application. Finally, if any organization, like let's say we have like 500 IT companies, mine is one of the startup company. I want my company to bring in top 10 position. I want to bring my company to top 10 position. For bringing your company to top 10 position, you need to achieve some things like you need to achieve faster delivery of your application. Like delivering the application faster, that is only not important. At the same time, your application should be highly quality. It should have high quality and with less spending and with reduced outages. Overall, these four things we are achieving using DevOps. Are we achieving faster delivery or not using DevOps?
Yes, sir.
In one only we are deploying the application. and at the same time with high quality. How we are gaining high quality of the application? Because we are using tools. If you are using tools, you will not make any mistakes, right? If you do the things manually, first time you might correct, but second time you make mistakes. So if you do the tools like with high quality, you can deliver the application and with less spending. Earlier, you used to have like 8 employees, you need to spend more, like management has to spend more. But now management is spending very less because they are hiring only 2, 3 DevOps engineers, and but they are paying more salaries for them. So overall here, they're saving the money also with less spending. We are finishing the project. And with reduced outages. Reduced outages means with minimal downtime of your application. Earlier, if your application is down, earlier if Swiggy application is down for 6 hours, means 6 hours your application is not available. If you give www.swiggy.com, it has showing the error message like this site cannot be reached because server is down. Sometimes 2 days it is down, 3 days it is down. But now using DevOps, we are reducing the downtime from 6 hours to like 2 minutes, 1 minute. Even if in the worst case, if your application is down, that is only for 1 minute or 2 minutes, but not like earlier 6 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. These 4 things we are achieving using DevOps. If you achieve these things, you can bring your company into like top position. These are the different like waterfall method versus agile method versus DevOps. In waterfall, this blue color is designing. After designing the application, we write the code. After coding is done, testing part. After testing, like finally we deploy the application. Because one requirement, like one time we finish. In agile methodology, we receive the requirements in sprint. In the sprint one, this is sprint one. In sprint one, this is designing phase, blue color one, green color one is coding, then test. But there is no deployment. Again, sprint 2, design code test. Sprint 3, design code test. Finally, sprint 4, design code test and deploy. Finally, you need to deploy the application. But in DevOps, so sprint 1 itself, design, code, test, deploy. And sprint 2, design, code, test, deploy. Sprint 3, design, code, test, deploy. Sprint 4, design, code, test, like that. In each and every sprint, we are deploying the application. That means faster delivery we are doing. In DevOps, we use different tools to achieve that. If you see what is DevOps. So DevOps is not a language like C language, C++, Python, Java. It is not a language. DevOps is a methodology. It is a process. It is a culture which we follow. Simply, it is a process. Like how a waterfall method is there, how agile methodology. Similarly, DevOps is also a methodology. DevOps is a methodology in the software development and IT industry. Used as a set of practices and tools, DevOps integrates and automates the work of software development and IT operations. Means DevOps integrates both teams. What are they? DevOps integrates IT team as well as software DevOps team. So DevOps integrates development team as well as operations team. It is a combination of development and operations. Dev and Ops. It integrates development and operations. DevOps integrates and automates the work of software development and IT operations. Why it is integrating means as a means because to improve and shorten the systems development lifecycle, SDLC, to reduce the span, to reduce the life cycle. Like earlier, if you used to do the work in 12 months, now within 3 months you can do. Like if you used to do the things in 24 months, now within 5-6 months. Like to reduce the span of SDLC, to improve and reduce the span of SDLC, we are integrating software development and IT operations. This is like DevOps methodology. Any doubts? No. What is DevOps? You understood?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Where comes AWS? To find, we discussed about DevOps, but if you see here, all these DevOps tools like Maven build tool, GitHub, or like any kind of tools, if you want to integrate, like if you want to install or deploying, even we are deploying the application. For deploying, which tool we use? Docker tool we use. But where do we install this Docker? We install this Docker in servers. That could be Linux server or Windows server, any kind of server. We install this Docker in servers. You want Datadog monitoring or Nagios or some Grafana, Prometheus monitoring. So where we install these tools? We install these tools in servers. I want to install Git. Yeah, you can install Git in server. You can install Maven in server. But from where will you launch the servers?
EC2,
Where is EC2?
AWS.
AWS. So finally, we do the things in cloud only again. So that is the relation between cloud and DevOps. We create the infrastructure. Like we install the tools, we download tools, install tools, and we deploy the application. Everything happen in servers. That servers will get it from AWS cloud. If your project is using Azure cloud, you will launch the servers in Azure cloud. If you are using GCP in your project, you do in GCP cloud. Here we are learning DevOps with AWS cloud. This is about DevOps introduction. In next class, I'll be explaining you about Git. Like from tomorrow onwards, regular classes will start. Tomorrow I'll show you like Git, GitHub, like after writing the code, how we push the code into GitHub, and how to install Git, how to create GitHub account. Everything will be discussing in next class. That's all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
I have a query about build part. Can you please explain more about build?
Build is for compiling the code. In build, we do compiling and we create executable files. Compiling means what? Converting source code to binary code. Then only machines can understand. Computers can read only binary code. It will not understand if you type hash include stdio.h printf hello world. It will not understand. Even if you write any C language program or Java language program, you need to compile it. Are you aware of C language programs or Java programs?
Yes, not completely, but I have knowledge.
After writing the code, we compile it. Like we have written a code, assume like welcome.java. You have written the code. Now you need to compile this code. After compiling, it will create one file like .javac. Welcome.javac. Automatically, it has created one file. This is a compiled code. So like this compilation is happening because of build. In build, we will compile not only single program. We have written like multiple programs. All the files will be compiled, and finally it will create one executable file. So build tool will do these things, these two things. Each and everything will be explained practically in our regular classes. This is just a brief introduction. What is what?
Thanks.
Sir.
Yes.
In the agile methodology, we are building the requirements into sprints, right? So at the end, we can do deployment also.
In agile methodology, only we can do the deployments.
Yeah.
So in agile method, here this deployments are happening fast because of this CI/CD like Jenkins tools. In agile, we are not involving these tools, so that's why the faster delivery is not happening.
Okay. What are the tools they were used in the previous days?
Where
In the deployments, like now we are using the Jenkins, right? Like previously, how those deployments will be happening?
The CI/CD is not there for Jenkins. Like previously, also like we have GitHub, Maven, build tools, but Jenkins is playing key role for continuous CI means continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. This we use in DevOps.
Okay.
Actually, CI/CD refers to pipeline only, sir.
Yes, pipeline.
Yeah.
Hi. So what are the tools which we will be covering in this course? I mean, the DevOps tools.
Here. Right. I have given everything in this slide. Courses. We can go through this. Yes, yep, somewhere here itself. Yeah, show more. Here is the DevOps curriculum.
Mhm.
So today we discussed these things like differences between SDLC, Agile, DevOps, like a course curriculum like GitHub, like AWS, basics like already we discussed, and Jenkins CI/CD, containerization with Docker, build tool Maven, orchestration with Kubernetes, configuration management with Ansible tool, Terraform, Grafana, Prometheus, and finally pipeline project.
So YML also we will be covering in
Yes,
this
sir.
course.
Yes. Any questions?
So before DevOps, like how integration will happen previous from development to
Integration will be
operation?
deployed. We have different teams. Operations team is separate, build team is separate. Like different teams we have. Now using tools, we are automating the task. Earlier, manually we have to do.
Okay.
DevOps is all about tools. We are covering those tools now. Still any questions? Okay then. Fine. Thank you. We'll make
Thank
tomorrow.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.